Hi and welcome to Heal Yourself Therapies. I'm doing a video in two parts. The first part is talking about the mark of the beast, and it's just an observation. And the second part is talking about affirmations and the ego. So I'll see you in the next bit. Let's just very briefly touch on the mark of the beast. I've talked about this before. It's mentioned in Revelation. It's given as an option. It's an option that we have, and those who choose to take the mark of the beast will be in trouble. Okay, will be in trouble. And I think that the mark of the beast comes in many different guises. It comes in many different forms. Remember, the Bible itself, I think, is a bit of an allegory. It's a metaphor. It's an analogy. It isn't necessarily word for word what is going to happen, although some people believe that. Personally, I don't believe that. I believe what it's doing is it's giving you an idea. And remember, the people that were receiving these visions were putting them down in the way that they knew at the time, that the way that they could process it. So it's not necessarily, when they talk about a chariot, what could a chariot be? It could be many things, but they have to kind of fit it into their paradigm at the time, even though it maybe came from the future and it was something quite bizarre, like a spaceship or whatever, who knows. So, the mark of the beast. What I see is that we now have the mark of the beast here. We have the mark of the beast. And it occurred to me when I was thinking about the scripture that says that nobody will be able to buy or sell without the mark of the beast. Now, I know that there's a plan, long-term plan to make sure everyone's got something here. So the beep when they're going to a shop, and it tells them the temperature, tells everything, if they're a good person or a bad person or whatever. But we're already there. We already have, metaphorically, we already have the mark of the beast, and that is the mask. I'm not going to say it because they're censoring everything. This is the month of censorship, by the way. This is a month of shutting everything down. So we already have the mark of the beast. What is it? There are two kinds of people that wear the mask. There are the people that wear it because if you don't wear it, you're going to get $1,000 fine or a $100 fine, or here I think it's, €150 fine. Okay, so there are those that wear it because they don't want a fine, and then there are those that wear it because they truly believe that is going to save them. And there was a Wayne Dyer said this, and I'm not going to quote him word for word. It's more like an idea of what he said. He said, the people that refuse to accept an idea or a belief based on nothing are the worst kind of people. The people who reject something without ever having researched it, they are the worst of the worst. And I think that, Wayne Dyer talks a lot more nicely about people. But this is exactly the situation. For those who have actually done the research on this, they know that it is of no value. It is of no value in scientific terms, in terms of the size of the Rona, as they're calling it, size of the Rona, and the gap that's in the fabric of the mask. So it passes through like a pea through a goalie's net, basically. So it actually can't stop. It can stop the air from coming out. It can stop your spit from coming out. But it can't stop the Rona from passing through because it's so small. However, you don't put it on and you can't go into shops. And if you work in a shop, you can't work in a shop unless you put it on. And so we're already there. We're already there with the buying and selling unless you put this on. Certainly here in Spain and in many other countries, not all of them I might add, not all of them. In many countries, unless you're wearing it, you can't buy anything. And you can't sell anything. So we are already there. Now, all that has to happen is that MASK has to change to a VACCINE. And it's just the same thing. It's this principle. Now, I'll tell you what I do. Ever since the very beginning, the idea of me putting on an MASK is anathema. It's horrific. It's horrible. Okay? Especially with the Rona that has a survival rate of 99.7% now, as we're finding out. We're not really in mega danger. We're not in danger. And so I rebel against it. However, if I want to go into Tesco, well, not Tesco here, if I want to go into Mercadona or Aldi, I have to put it on. I have to. So what I do is I wear it when I'm walking out in the street. Of course, you've got to have it in the street. If you're walking in the country, you've got to have it on. But I don't. But in the street, I have it as a chin strap. Okay, it's there. But it's like my message to say, I've got it on if you want me to put it on, but I'm not putting it. I'm not going to deprive myself of what's important. And then when I go into the supermarkets, what I do is I put it just over my mouth and I have my nose free. And I've done that since the beginning. Since the beginning. I think I am one. I think normally when I go in, I'm the only one. Every now and again, I see somebody else doing that. And out in the street, I see a lot more. But in the supermarkets, I'm the only one. Nobody's ever said anything to me. And I don't care if they do. I just say, I would say, I've got problems with breathing. Yeah? It's just, I'm getting dizzy. Who's gonna say anything? If you say, I'm getting dizzy, anyone who forces you to put that on is liable. Is liable, no? So, anyway, that's where I think we are with that it's already the mark of the beast. And if you are putting it on because and this is truly the case, some people are loving it. Yeah, they are loving it. Some people are absolutely reveling in what's happening. And it's awful to say, and I can't really get my head into it. But it's there, that some people are absolutely living every moment of it and they're loving it. And it's become almost like a passion for them. And they're the people who think that those who don't do it as they should are disgusting and horrible and everything, despite the fact that all of the stats show you that it is not necessary. So that's that. So that's just interesting that we're already there, I think, with the mark of the beast. And so that idea, all it is allegiance. That's what the mark of the beast is. It's an allegiance. Who am I giving my allegiance to? The light or the dark? I know lots of people don't see it that way, but that's how I see it. The light or the dark? Where do you want to be? Choose your side. Okay. Now, next one was a question from Ceci from the UK, and Ceci was asking if when we make affirmations and we make them for ourselves, and we make an affirmation for us to get stuff, is that pandering to the ego? Is it actually wrong to affirm things for yourself when we really should be affirming for mankind? And that's a brilliant question, so thank you for that. What I'd like to say about that is that I don't believe that there's anything wrong with affirming things for yourself. We are living in abundance. There is abundance despite what they've sold us about lack. We've been sold over, goodness knows how long, about there is not enough. We are not enough. There isn't enough. There's a lack. We're running out. There are too many of us, blah, blah, blah. And the fact of the matter is that we are creators. So it isn't that there's a finite resource. There isn't. It's an endless resource because we are the creators of it. Does that make sense? Now, I'm not going to go into, but we need to take care of our earth and everything like that. Absolutely. We are not the ones that are digging shit out of the ground and selling us it, and then getting us to throw it away so that they can dig some more shit out of the ground and sell us more stuff, right? That's a very different thing. What I'm talking about is abundance. There's an endless abundance, okay? And it's there because we create our reality. So never worry about affirming for yourself in that respect, that there's always going to be enough. And it's something that I've done for years, but in the last 15 years, I've never ever done it so much as I did do it, okay? And what happened was I affirmed and I learned how to do it really well, exceptionally well. In fact, I affirmed so well that I got to a point about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, where I had every single thing in my life that I wanted. Every single thing that I had affirmed, I had. And I thought, wow, this is incredible. Even my wife and I drew a picture of everything that we wanted and we put it up on the wall because these have power. This is a spell that you're casting. So we drew what we wanted and we put it on the wall. And then we shifted around and it got put in a box, and then we moved to Spain. And it was only recently that we got the picture out and we saw it, and we saw that every single thing that we had drawn on that picture, it was just a bit of paper with a pencil drawing, every single thing we had, every single thing, and more, and more. And I thought, wow, this shit really does work. But 2 years ago, I realized something. I made the realization through lots of messages that I got. But the realization was that I'd made a big mistake. I'd really made a big mistake. And the reason that I made a big mistake was this. When I decided what it was that I wanted in my life, I made it material. And so it was, I want this house, I want to be in this location, I want this much money, I want this, yeah. And I got it. But what I found was, even though I had everything, I still felt empty. I still didn't feel full. I hadn't been fulfilled. And I couldn't understand it. And I was thinking, well, why am I not? Why do I feel like this when I have everything that I need? And hey, I'm not alone in that, eh? Talk to many, many people who have endless resources and who feel empty as hell. What I realized was through the messages that I'd made the mistake of asking for the wrong thing. What I wanted and what I really should have asked for was happiness. That's what I wanted. Because I looked at the picture that I drew and I thought, if I have all of that, I'm going to be happy. Wrong. I was wrong. I had all of that and I still wasn't happy. Why? Because I was asking for the wrong thing. I was asking for external things to fix a problem internally. So then I realized, and so then I got my paper and pen out and I drew what my idea of happiness was for me. I drew myself happy. I drew situations in which I was happy. And I started to affirm happiness every day. And I affirmed it, and I affirmed it, and I got excited about it. And then suddenly I stopped. I stopped because of distractions. I stopped doing it. And I forgot about it. Until recently, when I realized that I was blissfully happy. I realized just how happy I am. And it was a realization that it came true. My affirmations for happiness came true. Now, I've worked with people who have no money and who are extremely happy. And I've worked with people who have no money and are extremely unhappy. I've worked with people who have loads of money and who are as miserable as hell. And I've worked with people who have loads of money and who are happy. What I realize is that material things have nothing to do with happiness. Happiness is something that we have within, and material things are something we have without. So that was my light bulb moment of realizing that what I maybe should have done was to make sure that happiness was on the top of my list. And then other things, of course, affirm things for yourself, make yourself comfortable, get comfortable, but get happy first. And you can be happy with nothing and you can be happy with everything. And so that's my message to you, Ceci, and to everybody else, that don't worry. You can have things, but make sure you've got happiness. Otherwise, you're not going to enjoy them. And what's the point? What's the point to be surrounded by wonderful things and to feel empty and lonely and sad inside? Why not be surrounded by lovely things and feel full and happy, content and purposeful here on earth? That's what it's all about. Okay, so I'll leave that with you, and please put in your comments if you have any questions, anything that you'd like me to talk about. I'm very happy to do that as well. Okay, take care. See you later.